When you sense fear, there's a hormone released, adrenaline. We all heard of it. What does adrenaline do? It raises your heartbeat, it increases your respiration, it makes blood move into your limbs, hands and legs, brains, but blocks blood going into your gut, your stomach, or reduces the flow there. Why? It does not want to waste in things like digestion at that time. It wants it in your body ready for physical exertion. And what physical exertion? In the old times, 10,000 years back probably, when we were roaming in the jungle, we would suddenly come across, say, wild animal. Fear strikes, adrenaline pumps, your body is now geared for physical exertion. And the physical exertion is what? Either you fight it or you flight, run, fight or flight. Okay, so your body is preparing for one of the two to save yourself. Very much needed. That's why God made it. How many times today do you have to do a fight or run situation? You don't have to run. There is no physical danger to you. 99.9% of the time in your life, there is no physical danger which you know and you have to do one of those two things. Right? So that fear today is not needed. So that tool you don't need to use. Leave it. You don't need it. Today there's a different version of fear, which is what we call maybe anxiety. Okay, and that anxiety can be used positively for positive action. For example, I actually am grateful to the anxiousness I feel before an important presentation to a customer, for example, because it helps me prepare. It stops me from being complacent. It makes me do all the research about the customer and bring that, how I can help him. Or for students preparing for an exam, it's a great way to get ready, get prepared, make sure that they are not miss something in their studies. That's a positive adaptation of anxiety. And there could be just irrational fears. Why are irrational fears? Because when we developed from the ape to a human, our body became erect and a lot of things we lost hair, body hair. But we also grew our brains quite large compared to the apes. And what grew specifically is the frontal part of the brain, which is called the prefrontal cortex, and the back part of the brain, which is the hippocampus. What does this do, the back part? This is the hard disk. This is where all your old memories, the episodes are stored. And the prefrontal cortex, this is where you have this for imagination, for the future imagination. So what happens? That's a plus point. That's an advantage because we can do all this stuff now, store and think of the future. It also has this negative side of building anxiety and fear because it looks at all the past things and so this will happen again to me. Or it imagines a future which has not happened and think of the worst and tell you, all these bad things can happen to you. So irrational fears, you need to get this out of the system. You need to move them out. So to summarize the answer, madam, the God has given you all this, but it's up to you to choose which tool to use at what time. Some tools are of no use to us anymore, so we need to keep them in a corner and never use them. Some which you need to use at some time, you need to be trained on how to use them. Otherwise, you'll harm yourself if you don't use it correctly.